Thank you so much for staying with us right here on WION World is One News. You're watching WION Wallet. I'm Chaiti Narula and welcome back. Let's take a quick check at how the markets are reacting at this point of time. The Indian markets, including the Sensex and Nifty, have ended higher today in the intraday trading session. The Sensex was up 52.33 points and closed in at 27,309.97 levels. And the Nifty was up 17.3 points, ending at 8,434 levels, crossing the crucial 8,400 marks. As far as gold was concerned, it was down 0.73% in today's trading session. Crude oil was up 0.17%, posting marginal gains in India. As far as the rupee was concerned, it closed at 68.12 to the US dollar, 72.57 to the euro and 83.88 to the pound as well. Let's take a look at how the US markets performed in trade in the last trading session. The Dow closed down 0.11%, closing in at 19,804 levels. The S&P was up 0.18% and the Nasdaq was up 0.31% in yesterday's trading session. As we speak, the European markets are trading. They did open high this morning, but it's interesting to note that the CAC is down 0.08%, posting marginal losses flirting around the 4,849 levels as we speak. As far as Germany is concerned, the DAX is also almost flat actually, trading at the 11,598 levels, down 0.01% to be precise. And the FTSE is down almost 0.5% in trade. We're now joined by Prashant Bansal, who is our markets analyst, who will give us a sense of how the Indian market is going to be shaping up this year. Of course, we're talking about the pre-budget rally. We will also be talking about how the markets will behave after the populist budget of the BJP government comes out as well. Good evening, Mr. Bansal. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us. Do you see a bull run or a good rally in the Indian markets going forward? I mean, most brokerage reports that came out this morning are saying that the factors are really not conducive to the bull run, but there are many others that say there could be a possibility of the bull run. Why don't you clear the air for us?
Good afternoon, Chaiti. I think last time when we were on your show, we had clearly said that we are in a pre-budget rally and the index is likely to touch about 8,500 levels. So on a very, very near-term basis, what we are expecting is that the markets would be range-bound with a positive bias. We expect Nifty to trade between 8,300 to 8,500 levels with a mild positive bias. When we look at the derivatives data, then it's clearly visible that there's a large amount of put writing which has happened at 8,300 levels, and on the upside on 8,500 call there has been a huge writing. So in a very, very near term we are looking at Nifty to be in a range bound. However, when we were to look at the short term view, next month we are going to be seeing the parliament in session. And 80% of the time, whenever the parliament is in session, we see markets to be range bound or trading with a slightly negative bias. So on one side, the parliament is in session, then we have got the UP poll results, coupled with the likelihood of dollar index strengthening and most growth estimates by IMF or by RBI coming on the downside. So there are definitely clouds which are hanging over the near term. So we probably concur with the view that in the short term, we are not being extremely bullish on the markets. We maintain our sanguine view on the markets in the short run.
Right. And as far as the sectoral breakup is concerned, which are the particular sectors that you particularly see potential as far as ROI is concerned for investors going forward? And what would your pick be for our viewers in terms of the sectors that one needs to stay invested in the short term, which is the near term, mid term, and the long term going forward this year?
Chaiti, in the short term, what we are expecting is that the metals is one sector which we like quite a lot. Then the second is the public sector enterprises. So metals coupled with PSE, these are our two favorite sectors which we have been recommending to our clients to buy with a view from 3 to 6 months time. Banking is another sector on which we are bullish, but we are bullish on the small private sector banks. They would be the ones which will lead the search in terms of return on investments for most of our clients.
The last quarter, Mr. Bansal, saw the developed markets outperform the emerging markets, and within that too, India was an underperformer. Do you see some signs of reversal this year going forward after the union budget is announced by the government?
Chaiti, we are not too bullish over the 3 to 6 months horizon. Union budget will give us some populist measures, but there's a hangover of GST, which is also likely to get implemented by 1st of July. So we are not being too bullish over the 3 to 6 months time horizon. While last quarter, most developed markets did well, primarily due to the dollar index surging, but we have got to see what the dollar index is likely to do. And on the domestic side, there would definitely be rallies in particular sector based on what the finance minister is going to be saying in the budget. We expect another sector to do well is the housing finance sector, with the likelihood of the interest rates going up, with the likelihood of the exemption limits being increased from 2 lakhs to about 2.5 to 3 lakhs on the housing loans.
And what's your sense on the FIIs coming back to India? We saw that after the demonetization happened, the FIIs pulled out. What's your sense of how they would now view India after the union budget comes out? And, at the moment you see that the DIIs are holding fort in the Indian markets, but the FIIs are still not come back. What is your sense?
I think the favorite trade which is going on the market, on the street, is long developed markets and short emerging markets. That trade is a fairly crowded trade as of now, but we'll stick with that trade. If you look at the FII data for last quarter and even for this month to date figures for FIIs were negative. Till yesterday's closing, we were at about 2,800 crores of negative selling by FIIs. So as long as the dollar will continue to strengthen, we'll not see huge FII inflows. Although over the last 2 days, we have seen some amount of FIIs coming back. So we got to observe the data over the next couple of trading sessions before looking at whether FIIs are going to be putting in money or not. But yes, the favorite trade is long DM, short EM, but it's a crowded trade.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bansal, as always, for joining us on the show and giving your views on the market. Very interesting point you brought out about the dollar as well, where today's Standard Chartered Bank's report has come in that mentions how the dollar index could head back to the 105 levels as well. So we are going to be watching that very carefully. Thank you so much to all our viewers for tuning into WION Wallet on WION. World is One News. This is Chaiti Narula signing off, but don't go anywhere. The Union Budget Special on highways and real estate is next up with me. Take a quick break. I'll see you on the other side.